Hey Mr. Blood, so this is Abigail Scally from your A2 Common Core Math class, and this is my factoring video. So I'm going to do greatest common factor first. My equation is 28n to the fourth plus 16n to the third minus 80n squared. So when you're doing greatest common factor, first you need to pull out the number that goes into 28, 16, and 80. And so the greatest common factor for them is 4. And they all have an n. And so 4, 3, and 2, you're going to do the 2. So your greatest common factor is 4n squared. You can do a parenthesis. And so 28n 4 divided by 4n squared gives you 7n squared. And bring the positive sign down. Then 16n to the third divided by 14n squared gives you 4n. And then bring the negative sign down. And then 80n squared divided by 4n squared gives you 20. And so when it's to the second, none, and there is an n there because you're not doing 2 times 2, you're doing 2 plus 2, 2 plus 1, and then 2 plus 0. And so next you would do the diamond method to factor this part down even more. So negative 20 times 7 gives you negative 140. You bring the positive 4 down. Okay, so all the common factors that go into negative 140, all the factors that go into negative 140 are 1 and 140, 2 and 70, 4 and 35, 5 and 28, 7 and 20, and 10 and 14. So let's fix them. Okay, so between each of these numbers, the one that goes into make 4 would be 10 and 14. So to get to a negative, it would be a positive and a negative. And so you would do 14 minus 10 to get 4. And so when you do that, after you do that, you bring the 4n squared down. You do a parentheses, bring the 7n squared down. And then you do plus 14n minus 10n minus 20. Okay, and so after you do that, instead of me rewriting the equation so it's separated more, I'm just going to draw a line down the middle. Okay, and so after you do that, what you do is find the greatest. You don't use this, and that has no meaning right now. So don't forget about it though. So 7n squared plus 14n, the greatest common factor between the two numbers is 7. And then n. And since this doesn't have a square or any number above 2, you leave it blank. So you add your parentheses. So 7n squared divided by 7n gives you n. And then bring down the positive sign. And 14n divided by 7n gives you 2. So you're done with this half for now. And then you do the same thing with this side. So 10n and 20 would be 10, parentheses, 10n divided by 10 leaves you with an n, bring down the negative sign, and 20 divided by 10 is obviously 2. And so since these don't equal each other, let's change this to a positive. So it goes -10. We can do that. Make this a positive, and so then they add up. And so here, what you would do is bring down this 4n squared, and then you combine 7n minus 10 into parentheses. So 7n minus 10. And since you don't write this twice, the n plus 2, you just do it once. And that is your answer. Okay, so for the second factoring, I'm going to do the difference of two perfect squares. And the equation I chose was 9x squared minus 16. And so what you do here is go ahead and lay out your parentheses. Okay, and so two numbers that go into 9 would be 3. So you put your 3 first. And then to get x squared, you need 2 x's. And then get a negative when you're multiplying, you need a positive and a negative. And then two numbers that combine to get 16 is 4. Okay, and so to make sure your answer is right for this one, what you do is the FOIL method. And the FOIL method goes first, outer, inner, last. So that's what we're going to do here. So let's do the first two. So 3x times 3x gives you 9x squared. And then the outer two, 3x minus 4 gives you negative 12x. And positive 4 and 3x gives you positive 12x. And positive 4 and negative 4 give you negative 16. Okay, so after you do that, to work on this, you can make this shorter. So you bring the 9x squared down, and then when you're doing these two, they cancel each other out. So bam. You don't have to deal with the 12x anymore. And then bring the negative 16 down here. You see negative 16, and this should equal what's up here, and it does. So it's correct. And the last problem I'm going to do is an easy case. And so first, what you do is the diamond method. So 6 times 1 gives you positive 6, and then you bring the negative 5 down here. And so then what you do is find the numbers that combine to get, that multiply to get 6. So 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. Okay, and so both of these can give you negative 5, but when you do negative 6 and 1, you get negative 5, but you get negative 6. So negative 6 and 1 do not work. So don't deal with those anymore. And so then it has to be negative 2 and 3. That'll give you positive 1. That's not right. So you do negative 3. So negative 2 and negative 3 add to get negative 5, and negative 2 times negative 3 give you positive 6. So that works. And then do your parentheses like you did above. And let's start with the n first, and then you bring the negative 2 here, and then negative 3 here. And after you do that, to check it, you do the FOIL method like you did up here. And so first gives you n squared. The outer give you negative 3n, the inner negative 2n, and the last give you positive 6, because a negative times a negative gives you a positive. And so you combine the like terms here, so n squared, these two combine, give you negative 5n, and bring down the positive 6. Okay, that works out, and so n squared, that's what you should get. And it should work with here, and it does. And so you have the correct answer. And those are 3 different ways that you can factor.